I was always that nervous guy in the primary school that couldn't stay calm on his chair and on the hunt for new adventures that my friends were not even thinking about. I'm Seba, and in this video I will take you on my journey. It's our journey, to be honest, because many of you were always staying by my side. It's been a long time, over 10 years, that I'm doing this, with many emotions, ups and downs. But hey, let's jump back where it has all started. This is our journey. When I was a 13 years old boy, I had that friend that already had a car with this huge built-in sound system. One day he came to my place to visit me, and he opened the door of his car and played this huge track with heavy bass lines and aggressive vocals. I was like, what is this? How is this music called?
I'm the guy with the huge sound system in the car. Seba was immediately blown away when I showed him this kind of music. And I was always impressed how much energy and will this guy had to learn something new and unique. So yeah, we were fooling around a lot, and this video, which is called Coco and Seba doing stupid stuff, is saying everything.
I liked it a lot, and from that moment on it was clear that hardstyle was my favorite music genre, and I downloaded as many tracks as I could find online. Of course I started dancing Jumpstyle, which was a really trendy thing at that time. But like always, I went full force and I recorded almost every day a new jump video that I uploaded on my YouTube channel. And Connie was back then already my best friend, and of course I forced him to dance Jumpstyle too, and we did this thing together.
Seba came up with this strange dance called Jumpstyle. He showed me videos on YouTube from Patrick Jumpin, Jumpstyle tutorials, and we fell in love with this kind of first with this kind of music because we were already listening to hardstyle, noise controllers and headhunters. Then we started doing Jumpstyle videos ourselves, and that was the first time that our duo was making, or like it was the first hype we did in our hometown, at our school, by doing those videos. And later we continued like this by making music.
It was crazy how fast these guys learned dancing Jumpstyle and spending basically every 3 minutes to jump. And even with those crazy dudes, I wasn't able to learn it. Or let's say, I just learned the basic steps.
Yeah, I got quite some views and attention from that. After being such a huge hardstyle fan and a Jumpstyle dancer, it wasn't really enough anymore for me, and I knew that I wanted to make starting music. This music, hardstyle. I was watching everyday videos on YouTube how to make music, so I found that known DAW called Fruity Loops, where it was really easy to start making something, and yeah, it was really exciting. At that time all my focus was just on hardstyle, and I was a huge, well, I am still a huge PC building and gaming fan. So yeah, my parents had a pretty hard time since I wasn't really caring about what's going on in the school. Obviously, I had to repeat 1 year in the middle school. In 2010, Connie and I decided to start working together on music as a duo called Rough Tuners. In that period, we were experimenting a lot and spending actually all the money that we had to upgrade the bedroom studio to a decent studio.
One day we decided to go to our local music store and to buy all the professional important stuff that you need in the studio. So we bought speakers, sound card, keyboard, microphone, cable and all kind of stuff where we didn't even know how to use it, how it works. but we just wanted to have a professional studio. And after that, we had to learn all those things, to use those things.
And in 2012 we had for the very first time the opportunity to play our very first gig at a local club, which was a huge highlight, of course. We were really excited, and at the end of 2012 we were sending out the first demos to various labels. 2013 was a really important and exciting year for us. First of all, the name Clockartz was born. We were signing to the Magic Show Records, and we made our debut to Wish Outdoor, our first international gig in the Netherlands. You cannot imagine how happy we were, and the motivation level was just insane to continue with this thing together. We were working really hard every day, every free moment to make impact and new tracks for the scene.
After things slowly getting serious and getting international bookings and attention, we decided to build our own professional recording studio in Seba's garage. And we finally had a beautiful looking place with a nice atmosphere, putting sound panels, and the atmosphere, of course, is really important for the creative process. Feeling good in your work space, so you can make nice music.
We were creating a remix for Randy, Digital Punk, signing to the Wishlist agency for our bookings, playing at several festivals like Defqon.1, Intense Festival and Loudness. And yeah, at the end of 2016 something incredible happened. It was a dream. We had the opportunity to work together on a track with our idol Randy, and everything was just feeling unreal at that moment. 2017, definitely the craziest year of my life. Playing at exclusive Randy at the main area of the Heineken Music Hall in Amsterdam. And besides that, we were starting with our own label, Delirium Music. We were releasing tracks at Q-Dance Records, at Rough State. And at that time something totally unreal happened. We were working on the Endhsow track for Defqon.1, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw our own music on such a huge stage with fireworks. But yeah, it was unreal. But after the Defqon Endhsow, the next thing happened. It was a cherry on the cake because the one and only Armin from Buren reached out to us and asked for the track. And what happened then? Armin closed twice Tomorrowland with a Clockartz track on both Tomorrowland weekends.
Tomorrowland, you are beautiful. Thank you so much.
I'm having goosebumps right now when I'm thinking back, but there's really not much more to say about that. After all those achievements and goals that we've reached, the bookings and shows obviously went better and better, and we played almost every weekend somewhere else, which made us really feel immortal. With a lot of diversity in our tracks, we had almost for everyone something to go crazy on.
I'm Hannes, I'm the videographer of these guys. Some of you may recognize me from the countless international shows where we were standing mostly as a trio on stage. For us this was more than just a work relation. We became best friends, traveling the world together. Playing and filming these huge shows, meeting new people, having drinks backstage or an insane breakfast in the hotel after some crazy nights. It was definitely a time that I won't miss.
And in 2019 I decided to quit my job and to focus fully on the album Chord 5. With Chord 5 we've tried to create something that the hardstyle scene haven't seen before yet. After premiering the album at Impact Festival, we received really good feedback, but the scene was probably not ready yet for this type of music. And then at the end of 2019, Connie and I decided to stop as a duo and that I will continue with Clockartz as a solo act. In the beginning of 2020, I made a lot of plans how to continue as a solo artist, and I had many confirmed shows for that year. But yeah, everyone knows the pandemic was a disaster. So many things were uncertain. What's happening now? After realizing what was going on in this world, I felt really so far away from my fans, from the music, from hardstyle, and basically from everyone. That's why I started with my concept for the Sunset Sessions, which the people really appreciated. And it gave us the chance to connect in another way.
When we recorded the very first sessions, we still had to figure out a lot of things. We had all kind of challenges depending on the location. Carrying all the equipment up the hill at 35 degrees, not feeling your hands anymore at -10 degrees, or cancelling the recording last minute because of thunderstorms. But in the end, we always managed to make the best out of it.
So far we were able to create 8 sessions at breathtaking locations it was all near my hometown. And I have to say that I'm really proud on those sessions, and yeah, big thanks to my camera guy Hannes here behind the camera. Yeah, the situation was anyway really hectic, especially because there was almost no income from the music side, and that's why I decided to go back to work as a car mechanic. Well, I had to. After almost 2 years I had the opportunity to finally go back on stage, which was an unreal feeling. And suddenly all the frustration from the past months and years was totally gone. Other than that, I became daddy of a baby girl in the end of 2021, and suddenly you have a total different view on basically everything. Things that were priority first became unimportant, and the other way around. I would say the pandemic helped many people to realize what they really want and who they really are. After life slowly got back to normal, something was feeling different, and I was still playing a few shows, but something was different than usual. It was really hard to stay on the people's radar. So yeah, I was spending a lot of time to think about what is the right way to go now. And I think it was, and it still is, a really hard time for many artists. In early 2022 I started working in a bicycle store. Since I was always into mountain biking and downhilling, and during that period I found my passion for road biking, which plays a really big role nowadays in my life. It's just my escape from reality, and when I have a bad day I just hit the bike and go for like 80 kilometers, and after that I was always feeling much better. And yeah, at the end of the year I risked it again, quitting my job and fully focused on Clockartz and the music. Yeah, and now we are at the end of 2023, and what? I can tell you that I'm more than excited to continue as Clockartz, and when I learned something in the past 15 years, then that success cannot be built in one step. You need many steps, hundreds if not thousands, and of course luck is always playing a role in that. It's important to follow your goals and never give up, no matter what happens. I can proudly tell you that I have brand new stuff coming up on True Identity Music, and I can't wait to show you the new tracks, the new me, the new Clockartz. Maybe you will see me perform soon at a brand new Sunset session. Right, Hansi? Guys, I want to thank you all for the support over the years. and this is only the beginning.